March Chalice. I am very attractive, coming to you live from Achterleben, or perhaps the Liebenstraum Circuit of Death. And with me, as always, is the man who wants to outlaw the xylophone, Magas.
I like the xylophone, actually.
You say that now that I've exposed your plan.
No, it was actually my instrument in a grade 8 band.
No. So that was xylene. That's the stuff in the magic markers. You're very confused.
No, it's not.
Just gave him a marker. Go sit off in the back. You're tone deaf.
Oh no, I am tone deaf. Every music teacher I've ever had is absolutely horrified.
Tone deaf, rhythm impaired.
My attempts to do anything musical are absolutely not advisable.
Y'all heard of rhythm and blues? Well, Mike's only got the blues.
Yes, very depressed. Got a lot of things to sing about and no ability to actually sing about it.
I guess that's what they call it, the blues. Can't move my hands in a rhythm with you.
We are here at Oschersleben, and we are opening up here with the first round of the Porsche GT3 Cup car Super Series with Tugas. I don't think any other communities are involved in this one. I think it's just us and the Tugas guy, the ESR Tugas combination. I do see somebody we have not seen in a long time, Byron. Visar Jacoli. Down in 15th place, the Albanian Terror is back.
He's out of prison, and it's going to be your problem now.
Tobias Thierolf on pole, followed by Bertrand Barrier, Luciano Ichazo, Max Simmons, Martin Evans, Romain Barthez, Rene Ermer, Dibum, Magic Kashuk, James Butler. Your top 10. And some notable guys further down the grid. You got Andrew D down there. Good to see John Barker back. We hadn't heard from him in a little bit, so we were worried. Adam Komorowski, the returning Visar Jacoli's in the mix there. Josiah Jerome. Once again, really far down the list. We got Mateus Gonzalez in there. And bringing up the rear, despite his enthusiasm, Mauricio Delgado. So we got a 3-minute warm-up here. What can I say about these cars? So these are Cup cars. They are all identical models of the Porsche 911. It is basically the GT3 car, the famous GT3 class of car. Simplified down with a lot less electronic aids and basically a lot less tech. So this is kind of where you begin in real life your career as a Porsche factory driver, essentially, or a Porsche customer driver at least, is in these Cup cars. And it should be some good racing. It's really easy to make mistakes in these cars. They are not balanced all that well, all that easily. I've come to the conclusion that Porsche, as a company, is determined to make difficult to drive cars. And that explains all their engineering decisions that they have made over a long, long time with the 911.
Would that also explain why they look like that?
It would not necessarily why I would explain like that, but you, of course, being a World War II history buff of sorts, via tanks and so on, you're familiar with Ferdinand Porsche's tendency to devise things that were incredibly impractical.
You don't even have to, that man was into his engineering.
Yes. Over-engineered, impracticality. That is the Porsche Motorsports division. This is the same division that didn't have speedometers in their cars for the longest time to not let their drivers know how fast they were going. And that, of course, led to the famous story I've used a couple of times where Derek Bell is talking about his Porsche engineer. How many RPMs were you at on this straightaway? Put the paper away. So how fast was I going? I think it is better that you do not know. And that pretty much sums up like Porsche's engineering philosophy. So that's what we're racing. And it could be fun. 60-minute race. I don't know if there's a pit stop required. Let me check the rules on that matter and see if I can find the answer.
I require 1 pit stop per lap to refill my beverage container.
Mandatory pit stop is on. So we do have a mandatory pit stop that will have a window. And I imagine that window is 20 minutes in the middle of the race. We'll find out. I forget what race room's rules are on that, but it'll be something akin to that. So probably window open 20 minutes into the race and close with 20 minutes to go. Maybe. A couple of the cars already off track. This could be interesting.
I'm interested.
We'll just leave it at that. We will have success ballast in this series. If you come in first, second, or third place, you'll be picking up success ballast for the next round. Up to a maximum of 50 kilograms. First place gets 15, second place gets 10, and third place gets 5.
Congratulations. Enjoy your punishment for being successful.
Well, it's to try to bring competitiveness to the grid.
Can we just arm the people in last place?
That would also work. Mike Stopmill routinely at 50 kilograms of success ballast, and it didn't work. It didn't work.
No, it did not.
So the grid is forming up here with 24, 23, 22 seconds till the race. Let's have a look if I can see who maybe is your favorite racer. It's got to be a golf livery in this, right?
One would think it's Porsche.
Nobody is running the golf livery if it's an option.
You're all fucking losers, man.
I'm kind of cheering for the NVIDIA cars. They look kind of neat. Anyways, here we
Bro.
This is really a holding while. Go! There we go. Somebody got a false start penalty. I didn't catch him. That was a hell of a hold on that red light. Wow. Anyways, Tobias Thierolf off in the lead in the Castrol liveried Porsche. Luciano Chiazzo in second place. Max Simmons in third.
I do like Max's purple trim car. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Indeed, I do believe that is him anyways.
It is.
Indeed. And a couple of cars off in the back. I do kind of like the UPS Porsche. Looks kind of cool. James Butler rejoining in the Total car. And Esports... we got Esports Racing Argentina in the house, I think. Because we got a couple Argentinians out there. Matthias Gonzalez, as well as Luciano Chiazzo. So that community is probably also involved in the festivities.
We've not really been read into the program here.
No, we've not. Yeah, okay, they're on the poster, so they are helping organize. We got Esports Racing Argentina, Tugas, and ESR.
Huzzah.
So there we go. We have the full list there. Martin Edmonds is up into 5th place ahead of Deep Balm, Rene Ermer. Visar Jacoldi's had an amazing first lap. He started in 15th place. He's up to 8th, Byron.
Sir, I believe that's probably why they had him locked up for so long.
I say that, and he just loses 8th place to Romain Barthez, and he's tumbling down the order. I've cast a curse. Is that him?
I think that more has to do with Romain Barthez than anything else.
It might.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess
that. Trouble does tend to follow Romain Barthez. You do have a point
there. That Martino Edmundchuk guy, he's in the Marlboro car. Very nice.
That is the Porsche factory colors.
As sponsored by Marlboro.
So he's gone boring and picked the literal blank factory car. That's what he's gone with.
Big fan of the yellow blank face.
On board with Bertrand Barrier running in 4th place there. So we got Thierolf, Chiazzo, Simmons, and Barrier. So 4 different communities represented in the top 4. You've got Thierolf of, who is, of course, from Tugas. You got Luciano Chiazzo, Esports Racing Argentina. You got Max Simmons, VSR. You got Bertrand Barrier, who's kind of the unofficial GTR team out of France. So there's that community sort of represented. And then you get our first duplicate, which is the ESR admin, Martin Edmonds, running for place.
Martin's using his admin powers to win the race.
Anthony Willis has had a stonker of a race so far. He's up at the top 10.
Get him, Anthony. Anthony also did request the G29 racing kit, but he got there about 6 hours too late.
He's in our fight Discord, but has yet to make a fighter for himself. We should harass the crap out of him.
Do it.
He's from Louisiana, so Lord knows he probably would hook up with Tim Crater's gym.
Hell yeah.
Don't take that advice from Tim Crater, though.
Good old gravy Tim Crater.
We learned last night that Tim Crater has become chunky as hell.
Holy shit, that guy used to fight at what, 155?
185.
185. That dude weighs at least 385 now.
Oh, yeah. He was standing next to his fighter who was fighting at 170, AJ Fletcher there, and it's like, oh lord, it's like several weight classes. Several weight classes.
He used to be known as Crazy Tim Crater. Now he is Gravy Tim Crater. There are no other options.
Twitter has gone with the chonky pick.
No, doesn't rhyme.
Yeah, Gravy Tim Crater does definitely work very well. Deep bomb battling with Rene Ermer over 6th place, and a side-by-side action going on with Bertrand Barrier overtaking Max Simmons for 3rd, relegating Simmons off of the podium. Top 8er kind of making a getaway. It's a bit of a drop back to 9th place Willis, as well as I forget your first name, and I apologize, Mr. Samos, but you were in 10th. It's not. It is not.
Max Simmons.
No. The dude in 10th from Portugal, not Max Simmons.
Oh. I believe it's Antonio.
I think it's Alessandro or Alexandre. I'm not sure. We'll wait for him to come up at some point. Visar Jacoli and Mateus Gonzalez and I think Steve Bellew are all out of the race. This will probably be a relatively high attrition race. These Porsche cars are not easy to run, and it's not always that a lot of people do a lot of testing. As Max Simmons gets dropped another spot there by Martin Evans. Simmons has got problems in that FedEx livery car.
Martin using his admin powers judiciously.
Mauricio Delgado started in last. He's up to 11th. Josiah Jerome is now in the top 10. Running in 10th place. Been a rough race for James Butler. Back down to 15th, having started in the top 10. Getting some slow down action from the stewards as to a track abuse around this confusing as heck facility. I really don't like this track, so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna refrain. I'm gonna refrain from throwing my poo at it. But
please, everybody, vote for this in 3D Speed Series next time.
It's not in the game. It's not in the game. Thank God.
Please, everybody, vote for a change in game and this map specifically. It will be funny.
Why you gotta ruin my 3D speed run after I finally got a podium?
You gotta crank up the difficulty, Mike.
I finally got to stand up on the podium, get a taste of the bubbly. You're trying to rain on my moment.
That's how we do it in Super Baseball. That's how we're doing it in racing, sir. You're finally having a little success. It's time to crank up the difficulty.
Oh, actually, I do perfectly fine at this track. I just hate it. I think a lot of people don't like it, so I don't think it would necessarily be cranking up the difficulty. If you want to crank up the difficulty, you got to find a track that I am slow at and that other people really like. That's
Macau it is.
No one likes Macau. Nobody is good at Macau except for Rob Huff. Rob Huff is the master of Macau in real life. And also one of the a dude who you would meet and never assume is a race car driver because he's kind of chonky himself.
Eric Bana.
Spin out in the background there for Adam Komorowski, who's going with the Falcon livery. Classic livery. He drops down the order to 15th place. Romain Barthez showing good pace. Hanging on to the back of this battle for 6th place between D Bomb and Rene Ermer. No Ariel Zatoni in the field today. It's disappointing.
No Aquatic Zatoni either.
Yeah, he had a bit of a rough time at the end of the last Super Series, and had said he was going to take the season off, and it looks like he is sticking by his word on that.
Also, all the earthquakes.
Well, that's Marcel Letelier's problem.
Welcome to the Pacific Rim, bitch.
Marcelo is, of course, one of our 2 Chilean drivers, and yes, he did have to abandon a race last week due to an earthquake. So rough times. Big contact there for Luciano Echazo. Maybe? No? Yes, it is Luciano dropping through the order. Oh boy. So the man who was running in second place is tumbling down the order in the Monster Energy car. Interesting to see him running a Monster Energy car because he usually really likes cars with the Argentine flag colors. So it's a bit weird to see him in the Monster green and black. Has managed to rejoin in 5th place, but that car does not look good. And he's going to lose a spot to dive bomb. Whoa, big spin there by, I believe that was Mauricio Delgado in the Hertz car. Rene Ermer trying to find his way by, and trying to get by both of them is Roman Barthez. Can't get it done.
You got to treat those like if a pet was stretching. You're like, oh, big spin.
We're going to be getting a couple of them. And Luciano is probably hoping for this pit window to open up sooner rather than later because I think that car is not healthy at all. He's lost out to Baum and to Ermer, and now it's his buddy Roman Barthez on his tail. Or at least his, I don't know if they're buddies, but they've been teammates. They belong to the same Argentinian racing community. You would suspect there's a little bit of camaraderie, but we'll see.
I think if that guy lived near the ocean, he'd live in a Bombay.
Quite possible. Josiah Jerome is catching up to this group.
You saying that like you're surprised?
A little bit. Josiah's been. It's been a while since we've seen the proper Josiah, and there we are. Alexandre Sims, Portuguese driver. One of them.
Tropical torpedo.
Indeed. Looks like we've lost Ricardo Costa from the race. Might not have actually lost Steve Bellew. He might be in the pits or something because he's every time a car drops out, he's moving up. So that implies that he is still connected to the server, but he is also 6 laps down. So interesting problems there. On board with Barthez. I must say, okay, Echazo is keeping up. So he lost some spots. He's keeping up, but I don't know. There's something about the car, not necessarily being slow, but like it just looks like he can't hug as tight as he wants to the lines. Looks like he's having a lot of lateral movement on that car. So there is something wrong with it, I think, from that heavy crash in the wall. And he is still soldiering on and doing his best to find his way to that mandatory pit stop window.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be laps when we are done. Don't you cry no more. I didn't have any more words, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is a hard song to workshop into a particularly long.
No, it's actually pretty easy. I just forgot what the next couple lines were.
There was, spin around for Anthony Willis.
For instance, very easy to make about Predators. Instead of carry on, it becomes carrion. There'll be meets when we are done.
I still like the Urbies of the Universe one that or trash cans of the battlefield about urban mechs with Prince of the Universe by Queen is the base of it, and rewritten the lyrics for Mech Warrior Online.
Here we am, Bjorn to be ashtrays.
The urban mech, a mech that makes no sense.
Makes perfect sense in an urban setting.
Not really.
Wow.
Oh, Luciano Chazo going down the inside of Rene Ermer, fighting back up into 6th place. Like the problem with the urban mech is that it's ridiculously slow and it's 35 tons, which for a mech, people at home, is very small. And that means it has very little in the way of actual armor. So it doesn't move and it's easy to hit. It just kind of gets absolutely smacked around and it's built like a trash can.
It looks like R2-D2.
Quite a bit, actually. I should show the plushie at some point that I have of it. When the Catalyst Games did the Kickstarter to try to get the models going again, which look really good, by the way. If you're, like, even if you're not into like the BattleTech setting or whatever, but you like miniature games, I'd give it a look. They look very cool, and they're nice variety. You don't need a lot of them to play the game, which is pretty nice. But yeah, the Urban Mech plushie was one of the Kickstarter gifts that you could choose from, and of course I chose. Josiah Jerome up in 8th place, passing Romain Barthez in his ST suspensions car. I think he's done the ST liveries a couple of times.
Romain Barthez, or Romy Bartz, as he is colloquially known.
Oh, now we got to work him into the Letterkenny thing. Bartsy. Yes.
Bartsy. What up, Bartsy? Fuck you, Shorzy. Fuck you, Bartsy. Fucking. I don't know what to say about. Where's he from? Argentina?
Argentina, yes.
Why don't you go cry for me? Fucking give your balls a tug.
Martin Evans off the track.
Oh my God. He needs to admin his way harder. Admin harder.
Oh, he's getting overtaken. Dropping from the top 3 out of the top 5. And that car looks messed up. Look at, if we get a side shot of it, that door, the left side of his car is severely dented. So him and Ichazo both have had heavy contact with the wall, as have a couple of people down further down the grid. We've seen a couple of spins from Anthony Willis. We've seen Komorowski, James Butler, Mauricio Delgado, all at one point or another facing the wrong direction. And of the contending cars, Edmonds and Ichazo appear to be carrying significant damage. I think someone went in the pits there.
You are correct. Either that or they just took the wrong turn.
I think that's Luciano Ichazo. Yes, it is. So Luciano's in, pit window is open. We expected him in early because he is significantly damaged. I wouldn't be surprised if Martin limps his way down the pits as well. But it looks like Martin has stayed out, which is, I think, a mistake. Oh, no, he's in. As one of the Hertz cars spinning around again. Could be Mauricio Delgado, but I think we have 2 different Hertz cars in the field. James Butler also rocking the Hertz car.
Maybe they went in for some donuts. You ever had a Hertz donut?
I have. It's not pleasant. Adam Komorowski in the pits. That could be Steve Bellew there, sitting in the pit lane in the number 5 car. Let me have a quick look at the booking and see if I can ascertain if that is his car. So that would explain why he's moving up positions while being a copious number of laps down.
Steroids.
Yeah, it could be him. He is rocking that livery, so that could be him. So he's parked in the pits, but drive-through penalty speeding in the pit lane for Adam Komorowski. Dang. And that's Die Bomb facing the wrong way.
Looks like he blew up his chances.
Ichazo going side by side with Andrew D. Surprised to see Andrew D rocking the Intel car. Usually not a. He pitted as well. Okay. So Andrew D must have had a relatively short pit stop. Mauricio Delgado's been in as well. That is Andrew D. It looks like he got forced off maybe at some point by Ichazo. That might cross the steward's desk. We'll see. As per usual, we have a whole form that we're going to set up for reports here. I'm going to be doing that right after we do commentary, actually.
You're all guilty and going to jail.
Maybe. So Baum is rejoined at the back of the pack, or at least the back of the non-pitting pack in 11th place. I assume he'll be pitting shortly. I think he may actually be in the pits. That gap is growing very quickly, so he may be in the pits. Let's see if Ichazo overtakes him when he crosses the start-finish line. Yep, Baum is in. Pit stop served.
We'll drop bombs on him.
Josiah Jerome up into the top 5, although yet to pit. He's got Romain Barthez on his tail. He's not too far behind Rene Ermer. There he is. Mauricio Delgado off track again. Mauricio appears to be having a real hard time.
I wish nothing but the absolute easiest of times for Mauricio.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We here at the commentary booth are big fans of Mauricio Dugout.
Indeed.
We promise no objectivity when it comes to this.
Absolutely not. We will make fun of you because it's funny to do that. And then we will unreasonably support those that we choose to do so.
Mm-hmm.
You want fair and unbiased?
I don't think you can.
No idea where you're going to find that. No,
I don't think you can, because I don't think any racing commentary or like sports commentary in general is ever entirely.
I'm sure that James Hunt is completely unbiased in
yeah.
every single way.
I need to at some point show you the James Hunt ripping Ricardo Patrese a new asshole highlight reel.
Great.
I need to find that on YouTube, because every race, James Hunt, Ricardo Patrese would do nothing in the race, and James Hunt would just be like, "That reminds me of a time when Ricardo Patrese destroyed his car and endangered our lives again." He hated that man. He hated that man so much. Or, I forget what driver it was. I want to say it was Ricardo Rosset. But Martin Brundle had a burn for him where Murray Walker, who's like super nice, voice F1 for like decades. It's just like, and this could be possibly Ricardo Rosset's last race in Formula One, and we would like to wish him the best in his endeavors. And Martin Brundle just goes, "I never said that." It was very much like straight out of The Simpsons with the is this it? Thanks, Kirk. Have best wishes. I don't believe I ever wish you best wishes. Decided to robe up a spot there, overtaking Rene Ermer, so he is handling that Porsche quite well. Be interested to see where he comes out from the pit stops, because Luciano Achazo is the highest ranking pit stopper right now, and I think Anthony Willis might be the pit stop. And he was ahead of Josiah Jerome. But if Josiah can just outrun him and work the overcut, he could be very reasonably in for a shot at a podium here as they come out to one of the Falcon cars there. I think if that's the only Falcon car on the grid, then it is Adam Komorowski. But that's a popular livery. I'm sure there's probably more than one. Drive-through penalty for Anthony Willis speeding in the pit lane. That's the second one we've seen levied. Komorowski also had to serve one. Ermer and Josiah Jerome and Romain Barthez, I think, are really having a good time here right now. They're moving up. They're going to have a more optimal pit stop than the guys who pitted earlier, because they're going to pit more towards that halfway point that you're usually aiming for, where your tires are going to have the best difference. Now, mind you, you only have to change 2 tires in these cars. So I don't know if everyone's going for an all-4 scenario, or if this is going to be a front tires only or a rear tires only thing. I don't know what the optimal idea is. So there could be some very big differences in that stuff here. But Tobias Thierol still leads by about 5 seconds over Bertrand Barrier. Max Simmons in third, and then it is this group with Josiah Jerome at the head in the battle for 4th place with Rene Ermer and Romain Barthez. Luciano Achazo is probably somewhere in this mix once the pit stops sort themselves out.
Bagel, are you ready for the headline of possibly the whole month?
Oh, hit me.
Overworked elephant rips Thai owner in half.
Yeah?
The only bit of detail I got for you is that he used his tusks to do it, and it was because he's being forced to work in hot weather. Bro, I'm always on the elephant side on that one.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, frankly, I'm always on the side of the domesticated elephant, period.
Second from the top comment, lengthwise or widthwise? That's all we want to know, really.
I'm going to assume width-wise.
One would assume. But one can also hope.
Dive bomb in a battle with Andrew D. 10th place on the line, but probably higher up once the pit stops come into play. I think these guys will definitely hop over James Butler and Alexandre Simoes when they come into the pits. Probably no further. So that would probably make this a battle for 9th place. Or probably 8th place, actually.
Another good comment is just a gift from the room. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Fantastic.
Looks like unfortunately we've lost Anthony Willis from the race, so that means we're down to 14 cars.
Anthony, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you didn't get the controls and all the gear. I'm sorry. You don't have to quit. Don't go.
Why did he want the gear, actually?
I don't know.
Because he has better gear.
Did not ask questions. I assume it was for somebody like a child or a relative or a friend.
Could be. Adam Komorowski recovering from a off there. Rene Ermer is really wagging that rear end around as he goes around some of these corners, but so far he's kept it out of the wall. So, who am I to judge if it's working for him?
Well, I mean, completely fair and unbiased commentator. That's what you are.
Entirely. As that is Martin Edmonds recovering from another spin. Hey, a new Low Elo Legends got uploaded by T90. The most important castle is the title of the video. I always do enjoy it. The
beautifulest girl in the world.
I enjoy those because it's basically him uploading people who are really bad at the game and critiquing their games. And, normally to like comedic levels, like not like you like people who are just playing the game in very bizarre manner.
Is it true that you've only been on the show 3 times?
I have never been on the show. I want to be on the show. I want to be. I am in his elo range for Low Elo Legends.
Well, then I would recommend start fucking around. So
I think the problem is my games are a little too actually like formulaic. It tends to be me like trying to do the right thing and like just kind of failing. Whereas like he more tends to pick people who are like, I don't want to say not trying, but like it feels like they have to be not trying to learn the game properly.
That sounds about right.
There is the very beat-up car, Mauricio Delgado, who is in last place, but 14th. So, you know, he'll score a fair bit. He overtakes Adam Komorowski there. I wonder if that means Komorowski is in the pit lane again? Could be.
Absolutely. Maybe.
Looks like he's stationary. He's stationary somewhere, and it looks like that was going past the pit area. So that probably indicates Komorowski has made a second pit stop here today. Not need to do from a rule standpoint. I must say Andrew D is being kind of uncooperative with that lapping through car. I'm not sure who that is. That could be Bertrand. I'm not sure what Tobias is running for livery. Rene Ermer appears to be in the pit lane. Oh! Yeah. Dive bomb in the wall.
Did not have ray tracing turned on.
There's Josiah Jerome is really catching up with Max Simmons. gap is down to less than a second between the FedEx car and the SW suspension cars, or the ST suspension cars. So
tropical tornadoes closing in on the Sandman.
Byron, we may be looking at Josiah Jerome's return to the podium the same week that I make my return to the podium. That'd be a hell of a week
in the prophecy.
That would be a prophetic week for the ESR old school racing crew. As one of the Hertz cars getting spun out there. Probably Mauricio Delgado. I say that because I think the only other Hertz car is James Butler, and he's not dropping through the field. So
maybe he wanted to do it.
It's probably Mauricio. The car is getting out of the way there. I think that is Mauricio Delgado facilitating the battle for third place, heading through without any particular delay. We've lost Visar Jacoli, we've lost Mateus Gonzalez, Ricardo Costa, John Barker, Magic Kazchuk, Anthony Willis, D-Bomb has parked it, and Steve Bellew. So Adam Komorowski in 13th place is the last running car. Board with Josiah Jerome, letting you enjoy some Porsche sound effects. He's had a fantastic race, and I'm really beyond my usual cheer for Josiah Jerome because he's a guy who has served this community with incredible dedication. I just want to see a fantastic run like this have a fitting ending because he qualified down towards the back of the pack and has really surge through here, and a podium is a very realistic possibility. And that is Komorowski off again. I'm trying to just figure out how much time's left in the pit window. I think we have about 9 minutes. I think, unless it opened up 25 minutes, in which case then we have only 4 minutes left.
I believe it's open Monday to Friday, 9 till 2 in the afternoon.
Oh. Debating what I want to have for dinner tomorrow, Byron. Any suggestions?
I would go with perhaps a quiche and a leek soup.
Josiah Jerome into the pit lane. There's Tobias Thierolf in the Castrol livery car, leading the way. About 10 seconds up on Bertrand Barrier. Feels pretty safe. Feels pretty safe. Him and Barrier both feeling pretty safe right now. Not a lot going on with the top two. Still have a pit stop to make, so we'll see how that shakes out. There is James. Oh, James Butler is not in the Hertz car. For some reason, I thought he was in the Hertz car. But, he's got a blue and white Total car.
Total.
Looks like Samois is in the pit lane as there is Josiah Jerome rejoining. Somebody was in the wall there. And it was James Butler! No! Butler hard contact with the wall, and we are down to 12. Tobias Thierolf coming in for his one and only mandatory pit stop. Key moment here for the pit crew. Can't make any mistakes with the refueling and with the tire swap. Bertrand Barrier continues on, so he'll take the lead. Him, Max Simmons, Roman Barthez, and Alexandre Simoes yet to pit. And Josiah's come out ahead of Simoes, interestingly enough. I didn't think he was a full pit stop ahead of him, but it looks like he is. Max Simmons in, Roman Barthez in. So the last guy to pit will probably be Bertrand Barrier. See where it all shakes out now that the leaders are finally in.
Oh, I'm going to shake it out.
And Jerome overtakes Simmons. So does Barthez by the looks of it. So Max Simmons, not a good pit stop. Drops from 3rd place down to 5th place. There is the only guy yet to pit outside of the race leader, Alexander Simoes.
I believe that's pronounced Alexandre.
I believe it is, yes. But we'll just go with Alex for short form.
A S'mores.
Hey, that works. Rene Irmer running in 7th place, but we'll pick up that spot once Simoes does elect to pit. Assuming he does. I mean, he has to. Either he'll have to pit or he'll have to take a 97-second time limit. I mean, these are the two choices. And it looks like Barrier is in the pits, taking his service. And there is Tobias Thierolf lapping Martin Edmonds. And should move back into the lead, I would think. Unless Barrier already got out of the pits. No, he does take the lead. So the German is back in front. And my video has decided to stop. Hang on.
Do what now?
Pause in 3, 2, 1. We are back. Well, the video probably continued on seamlessly, but the commentary audio probably didn't, because we had a little technical difficulty there where the commentary the YouTube on my computer just decided to die. And we are back with Rene Irmer chasing down Alex Simoes for 6th place. Now Simoes still has to pit. And it does frustrate me a little bit that he's involved in this battle when he... Oh, no, Bertrand Barrier off. So I said Barrier had a very, very safe run to 2nd place. And he's done the only thing that he really couldn't do. Just spin the car around. And now Josiah Jerome is up in his 2nd place, Byron.
Get him, Josephus.
I am still a little bit... I'm a little bit concerned on a couple levels here with Alex Simoes right now. Does he know he has to pit? That's, of course, the big question. Does he know that there's a 90-second penalty if he doesn't pit? I think it's 90 seconds anyways. It's like 90 seconds, 2 minutes, something like that. And does he realize that he's probably losing time battling with these cars that he's just not actually facing? Like, I don't know who he's racing against, really. But it's like not Rene Irmer, it's not Max Simmons, it's not Luciano Chazzo, it's not Andrew D. It might be Martin Edmonds and Mauricio Delgado and Adam Comarosa. That would be my assumption.
Those are the cars he's racing against fate.
Yes, there he goes wide, and there goes the overtake finally for Rene Irmer, who is trying to get himself up into the top 5. Simoes with the AMD car. I kind of like that livery. I like the color combinations, but I don't really like the pattern.
What if it was a pitter pattern?
A pitter patterned Padini.
Possibly.
Oh, this is Mauricio Delgado, who's once again looks like he's had some problems.
That's a little squirrely.
A little squirrely there from Simoes, who again is the only guy not to pit, so therefore he's on the tires he started the race on.
That might explain this really
not amazing. Well, these cars are a little bit squirrely at the best of times, but yeah, mixing in a unfortunately worn set of tires probably not helping the
I
matters
need
at
you
all.
to wear 20-25% more off there, Screwy Dan.
Oh, I don't want to picture Squirrely Dan trying to run one of these cars. And he's in the pits. Okay. He's into service pit stop.
My tires are hot, Wayne. There, I said it.
My tires hot! I regret nothing!
Smashes into the wall.
I do like the fact that scene apparently was not supposed to go as it was displayed. He was supposed to just keep running, and they kept the one where he literally just couldn't run anymore. It was like, I can't run, too fat, and they just kept it. That was not in the script, apparently. I appreciate that the comedic geniuses behind Letterkenny and Shorzy are not slaves to the script. They will let the actors ad-lib stuff into there, and if it works, it works. Samo's picking up a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so now I really don't know where he fits into the whole flow of this race right now. Looked like he was going to have a battle with Martin Edmonds, but this dropped by Edmonds. Probably still ahead of Delgado and Komorowski, who are both off the lead lap. So probably 10th place for the Portuguese driver. Rene Ermer in 6th place. Romain Barthez in 4th. So run down after the pit stops, although we do have a penalty to serve for Smos. Tobias Thierolf in the lead from Josiah Jerome, Bertrand Barrier. Romain Barthez, 4th place. You're looking at him right now. Max Simmons in 5th. Then it goes down to Rene Ermer. You check in with good timing. With now Andrew D. Pardon me, Luciano Echazo, then Andrew D. Then Samos, who has to serve his penalty. And it looks like he is now because he is dropping behind Martin Edmonds. Or he just got overtaken by Edmonds. Edmonds up to 9th. Samos might still be able to take home 10th. He is a lap ahead of Mauricio Delgado and Adam Komorowski, so he should be still in for a top 10 here today with 12 cars of the 21 still running. And that might be why Mauricio's been lapped by the field.
No. I demand that everybody get out of their car and help Mauricio out. It's the right thing to do.
You should be able to see. Yeah, there he is, Adam Komorowski in the background. He is the only one running behind him. Samos into the pits to serve his penalty. My brief arch nemesis, Rene Ermer, for like one series. Your major rivals in the prototype GT3 series.
And then you monkey stomped his brains out and mailed his nostrils back to his mother.
I think he beat me. So
that
I think he's the one that I think monkey stomped me on that one. But,
that might have happened, yeah.
But we have not shared the grid since. So that's unfortunate. Minutes to go here around the Oschersleben. And not a lot of tight battles going on. Rene Ermer is still pretty close to Max Simmons. That could develop into something, so we've got that going on. But multiple second gaps otherwise. And maybe something will come up. Maybe something won't. Komorowski is on the tail of Delgado. We'll probably see a fair bit of that. Although it should be said that I think Komorowski's pitted twice and has a relatively intact car. And I don't think Delgado has a similarly intact car. So that might be a slight formality of a battle. We'll find out.
I heard that Renee Ermer is so tall, he has to duck just to talk to normal people.
I see.
I have actually not heard that, but it might be true.
Might be true.
I heard that Adam Komorowski is so Polish that he might be from Poland.
He appears to be from America.
Wrong. See, that's the thing about Polish people, they're not bright.
That's harsh. Also, I'm a quarter Polish. I gotta take offense to that.
There's so many Polish jokes out there. None of which I will repeat because they're all very crude. I'm just assuming with the SKI on the end, there's a Polish background.
Most likely, Slovakian would be possible though.
Slovakia,
or
going too fast for Slovakia.
Even more German, of course.
That's not even a real place. Wait, East or West German?
Probably more East German.
Yeah, or...
Depends how good at soccer he is. That's the rule. If you're Polish and you're good at soccer, the Germans will inevitably try to claim you. Ask Miroslav Klose and Lucas Podolski. Komorowski still on the tail of Mauricio Delgado. Both these cars have been in the wars today. But I think Komorowski's right now is in a better place. It's hard to tell because, of course, Race Room doesn't actually fix the damage visually. So, like, if you were to run into the wall right now, damage the front end, go into the pits and fix it, it wouldn't actually redo the car model. So you would still look like you were damaged to people who were unaware. So I don't know how damaged Komorowski's car is, but there is some crumpling on the side from where he took a hit into the wall. You can see also some slight damage to the front end. I don't know what he's carrying right now in terms of damage, whereas we've seen Mauricio off the track a number of times. It tends to lead me to believe that he is damaged. The car's not entirely cooperating. Speaking of off the track, Martin Edmonds exploring the outer limits of the track.
The outer limits. Please stand by.
Please stand by.
Maybe that's what I should be archiving from the internet is Outer Limits, Twilight Zone and shit. I love. There's one excellent episode of Outer Limits.
Down the inside for Komorowski.
That looked a lot like this.
He's got it. I think. Yep, I think he's got it. Should pull away if Delgado's cars. Yeah, there's some excellent Twilight Zone and Outer Limits episodes. As that is Alex Simoes off the track again. Everything's gone bad for him since that pit stop.
Perhaps he shouldn't have taken 32 corn dogs on board. Anyway, there was this really good episode of The Outer Limits where these kids, the teens, the youths, if you will, decided to go break into an old rundown abandoned house that had all kinds of ghost stories and haunted whatever shit about it. And one by one, they all disappeared, except for the shit kid, like the fucking drinks underage and parties all the time.
The rebel.
Yeah, the rebel kid, and the reason he didn't die is because the house was sentient and was consuming the kids.
Oh,
spoiler alert! But it couldn't consume alcohol, so the drunk ass shit kid got off scot-free. Like,
I see.
awesome.
I see.
Very enjoyable. We control the vertical.
Oh no, we lost Josiah Jerome! Josiah Jerome has disconnected, and as a result, no, the podium.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the Texas Power Grid just flipped off again because
Maybe.
they're a shithole.
Maybe. We're down to 11 cars as a result, though, and that moves Roman Barthez. Romy Bartz up onto the podium.
Fuck you, Barty.
Bertrand Barry up at his second. Simmons is fourth. Ermer, Chazo D, Edmonds, Samos, Komorowski, and this man, Mauricio Delgado. The only people still running. We've lost 10 cars. High attrition day here at Oschersleben.
But what if it was high Etruscan Day? What would we do then?
Oh. Eat a lot of pasta.
Hey, the pasta. Get 32 kilograms of the carbonara. I haven't had carbonara in a long time. I'm gonna have to invest in some of that.
Delicious.
My fear is, though, because there's one place in town that makes an excellent carbonara, and I used to be semi-addicted to it.
Okay.
I'm really worried that I'm just gonna go back down and slippery slope. It might be a problem.
I mean, there's worse things.
That's true. Heroin being one of them.
My thing has always been
weight.
My thing has always been, as far as the weight loss is concerned, is shawarma, for whatever reason, causes me to gain weight.
I don't know why. Learned a valuable lesson today. Less shawarma, less carbonara, more heroin.
I mean, if the goal is purely weight loss, yes.
Correct.
So funny moment here from the world of Canadian football. A couple of weeks ago, me and my cousin went to the Hamilton Sidekick, and Mike Jones, who has been on the Ticats before, had just kind of re-debuted with the Ticats. We re-signed him because we're dreadfully short on Canadian receivers. So he's playing, and we're listening to the fifth quarter on the way back home. And some caller calls in and is just like, so happy Mike Jones is back with the team. And simultaneously, both of us say, Mike Jones has fans? What world do we live in?
He's still tipping, maybe. Tipping on fofos. Mike Jones.
He's just not very good at football.
Wow. He's professional, sir.
He's fast. He's fast and has all the the on paper skills of a good receiver, but every time the ball comes his way and he's being covered, no fight for the ball whatsoever. None whatsoever.
So he's no Dave Sapunges.
Oh, Dave Sapunges. No, you had to kill Dave Sapunges to get that ball.
You would literally have to pull out a knife and stab that man. The Sponge ain't giving up shit.
Sponge.
I don't care how hard you squeeze.
The Sponge, Rocky Diapetro, to use a Ticat legend, for the you're not getting this ball.
Alan Pitts.
Alan Pitts, I think it was more just he was way bigger than everyone covering him, so just throw it high. Just throw it high.
That works.
Man, that Calgary receiving corps back in the 90s. Terry Vaughn, Dave Sapunges, Travis Moore, and Alan Pitts. And Vince Danielson. Jesus.
Vince Danielson?
Danielson.
Dangle. Dangle.
Probably the best receiving corps ever assembled. Although the Montreal Alouettes with Anthony Calvillo were the only team to ever have 5,000-yard receivers in a single season. So, there is that. Red Armor running in 5th place. He is catching up with Max Simmons little by little in 1.4 seconds. I'd have a crack at a 4th place here. Simmons is also, closing down on Barthez a little bit, but 6.5 seconds I think is a fairly safe margin. Barthez is relatively close to Barrier, so we might still have a fight for 2nd place, might still have a fight for 4th place on our hands. And Delgado is hanging on to Komorowski remarkably well, so we'll see how that goes.
Renee the Worm Ermer crawling upon you. Go get in that maximum sentence. The Sandman.
Sandman versus Scotty Too Hotty.
Perhaps.
Not a great
went one way.
Not a feud that would have gone anyway, but like Sandman destroying Scotty, unfortunately.
Hey, bro, I could have wrote that into a feud that would have been one for the ages. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
I always felt like the WWE owed Scotty Too Hotty a little bit more than they gave him.
100%. I mean, they gave Bryan Christensen everything in the world, including all of the escape from all of his drug busts.
Now the kids mostly remember Scotty as the guy who got fed to Kane and The Undertaker at the Royal Rumble that one year, where he comes out and the Brothers of Destruction are standing in the ring and he just looks like he is about to shit himself.
See, I would have made it like the Sandman is forced to tag up with Scotty Too Hotty, who is way too hyper and way too enthusiastic, and the Sandman being the misogynist drunk that he is. Not misogynist, misanthropic drunk that he is. Ain't having none of that.
They kind of did that when they had the brief idea of Scotty with Steve Blackman.
Blackman.
Which I think would have been great. Steve Blackman, another guy who was horrendously.
Oh, yeah. Would have been the wacky buddy. See, every wrestling angle could be done as a wacky buddy cop movie. Mm-hmm. And people just don't seem to recognize that it's that easy.
Yeah, kind of.
That's why Danny Doring and Roadkill were the best tag team ever. With the angry Amish chicken plucker who can't speak. Oh my goodness.
Mauricio spinning around again.
Hang in there, Mauricio.
Hang in there, Mauricio. 11th place is calling you.
Hell yeah, it's like at least 98,000 points, I think. I don't know.
I can look.
72 bajillion points.
Because I can look at the settings. So scoring, 11th place. 11th place carries with it 5 points. Actually, so not that much, but still 5 points.
Correct. 5 points is 5 points, baby.
Yeah, 5 points is 5 points. That could be huge. Sorry, we're not talking too much about the race right now, but that's because there's not a lot of race going on right now, unfortunately. Things are kind of
correct.
Things are kind of really settled down, and have been for longer than usual. Put it that way.
Correct. But back to my tag team shenanigans. That's why Danny Doring and Roadkill were great, because you got the angry Amish chicken plucker who's also vaguely mute, and the mouthpiece pretty boy, vaguely kind of. I'm not really ever sure what Danny Doring's gimmick was, but he was sort of a showboat, braggadocious, pretty boy, vaguely porn starish. He hit a leg drop he called the Danaconda.
He kind of was kind of Val Venus before. On a small level.
And then they got I vaguely remember they got a actual porn star as a valet at one point.
They did.
And none of it made sense. None of that at all was.
Jasmine St. Clair.
No, I think it was Elektra.
Might have been.
I think it was Elektra. Anyway,
Those of
that
younger
tag team did
ages,
not make
please do
any
not,
sense at all,
please
but
do
they
not
were
Google.
always on the same page, and it was great.
If we have any younger viewers, please do not Google any of these names.
No, Google. Okay, Google some of them, but be wise about.
I'm gonna go with all of them to be safe.
Oh, come on, look up Roadkill. Roadkill was great.
I feel like Googling Roadkill is a bad idea.
He stuck to his own gimmick the whole time, though, because he had like the sidewalk slam, but he called it the dirt road buggy slam or something like that. And so at no point did Roadkill, the angry Amish chicken plucker, ever break his own character to meld with or to have his gimmick get closer to Danny Doring's character. And it never made any sense on paper, but it always made sense on camera. And that's the kind of shit you got to do. Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Podcast.
You should check out Kenny Omega's return to AEW. Justin Roberts just is out there. He's like, their tag team partner has won an outrageously large number of singles titles.
I will investigate that.
It also had Don Callis coming back, so there you
go. Nice. Cyrus the Virus, OP. Speaking of ECW. That guy took so much heat. Looking back on it, he was just a heat magnet because every time the network like legitimately screwed over ECW, they just put the thing on Cyrus. Mm-hmm. And then Cyrus would be the representative of the network TM. And would just eat all the heat in the world. And it was great.
It was great.
He was the one that...
I also do like that they seem to be pulling Michael Nakazawa as a third member of Omega's team.
Nice. With all the grease.
All the grease.
Michael Nakazawa.
All right, well, we got zeros on the clock, which means next time across the finish line... Oh, Lord! Contact between Andrew D. and that was the race leader, Tobias Thirlwolf.
Oh, my goodness.
We suddenly... now, are they finished? That's the question. Because ACC would have, ACC would have us covered with, the checkered flag and everything, but there is a solid chance that was a AI crash, because the AI sometimes does really, really weird things on the cooldown lap. And, I think that might be the case here. I have faith in Tobias Thirlwolf and Andrew D. not to mess up a blue flag scenario on the last lap. I have that faith. Find out.
Well, I guess that Tobias Thirlwolf has crashed and died, and then we will be holding a funeral for him. So.
He's still running. Gap is closed, notably to Barrier, but he's still 27 seconds up. So, I think
that helps.
I think he still got this, even if that was a green flag accident as opposed to a checkered flag accident. We'll find out. And really, it's just Irmer now within a second of Max Simmons, but running out of track to make this work. We'll see. We'll see. There is the checkered flag. So Tobias Thirlwolf is your winner. Can confirm. A couple of cars spinning off again. Is that spinning off or is that AI control? I don't know. It is really the one. If I could get one wish from Race Room, it would be the checkered flags on the spectator please. It would help so much. So very much. Roman Barthez on the podium today. Very nice. Rene Irmer coming across the line. Flashy headlights.
Blink, blink.
Okay. Oh, it looks like that was green flag contact because Andrew D is still running and has not seen the checkered flag apparently. So that was weird and interesting, and we didn't really see what happened. We just know that, well, you can see what Andrew D's car looks like. Martin Edmonds will get an 8th place finish ahead of Alex Simoes, Adam Komorowski, and it looks like Mauricio Delgado will get the checkered flag. So good on you, Good on you, Mauricio. Luciano Achaza was very, very close to somebody there at the end. I think that was a blue flagged car, though. D across the line as well. Alexander Simons running in 9th place. That card does not sound terribly great, but there we are. Everybody is finished. I will read out the results via
Swahili.
Tobias Thirol, Bertrand Barrier, Roman Barthez, Max Simmons, Rene Ermer, Luciano Achazo, Andrew D, Martin Edmonds, Alex Simoes, Adam Komorowski, Mauricio Delgado. They saw the finish line. Josiah Jerome has been allowed 3 points for his 12th place finish, so it looks like he completed the mandatory lap count to be classified. And everybody else: Steve Bellew, James B. Butler, Dave Baum, Anthony Willis, Magic Kashchuk, John Parker, Ricardo Costa, Matthias Gonzalez, and Visar Jacoli. All out of the race. Teams Championship. Tugas Racing number 1, that is Tobias Thierolf, Henrik Andreasen, and Rene Ermer, leading the way with 39 points. Esports Racing Argentina number 1, that consisting of Luciano Achazo, Mateus Gonzalez, Roman Barthez, 2nd place. Le Diversité Racing.
Damn.
Consisting of Josiah Jerome, Bertrand Barrier, and Adam Komorowski in 3rd place with 20, or it's tied for 2nd with 27 points. Orange Overclocked Racing, that is Mauricio Delgado, James Butler, and Max Simmons are in 4th, followed by Canadian Pole 2.2, which is Martin Edmonds, Magic Kashchuk, and Andrew D. We also have a third Tugas team, the Big Steppers, and the 1776ers. That is Anthony Willis and Dave Baum. Big Steppers is Pedro Magalhaes and Visar Jacoli.
Well done. Good on the Big Steppers.
Indeed. And that is... Oh, everyone's in a team this time. That's nice. Byron, you have any final thoughts here from Oschersleben?
Yeah, fucking be nice to elephants. Goddamn.